Welcome to Ready Take Live, where today we're celebrating the end of 2017 and discussing our picks for best cameras, lenses, platforms, and shows for live production. I'm your host, Rob Baynard, and I'm joined in studio today by my co-host and technical director, Aubrey Russell. How you doing, Aubs?
Hey, doing pretty good. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So excited to have you in studio this time for this episode.
It's such a high chair we're sitting in.
I know,
I'm not
I know.
really sure what to do about it.
I don't know how much more pretentious you can get than by putting director's chairs on set.
No.
I mean, I feel like Sam Jones is right off camera over here or something. Wait. If you're in here, then who's cutting the show?
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm still on it.
Oh my God. How'd you do that?
I'm really fast, Rob. Don't worry about it.
I can tell by the wings you got on your shoes there.
My Achilles.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, we're going to get right into it. I don't want to delay too much. This is going to be a quick episode. We've got a lot lined up for you. We're going to count down some of our best things for 2017. So let's get right into it. This is Ready Take Live. Welcome back to Ready Take Live. We do the show every Friday live in 4K resolution from LiveX Studios in Midtown Manhattan, just west of Times Square, where we're going to give you the latest in tech news and entertainment, surrounded by live video. We're going to get you up to date with what's happening and help you bridge the gap between big budget broadcasts and live social streaming. Get notified each week by subscribing to @LiveX Production on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we'll be answering your questions using the hashtag ReadyTakeLive. Now, this week we have a very special thing going on. We're using the brand new, all new Wowza Clearcaster, which I have a monitor right in front of me, which is what they call the talent view, that shows me your questions as they come in live. I'm seeing exactly what you're seeing on Facebook Live. This thing was made specifically for Facebook Live, and it was made in partnership with Facebook Live so that I know exactly when I'm live, I can see all the comments as they come in real time, and I can follow along with the viewer at home. But for the best viewing experience, subscribe to our YouTube page to watch in 4K. The Clearcaster we're gonna talk about a little bit later, but right now we're gonna get right into this week's Best of 2017 Ready Take Live Awards. So, we are here end of 2017, last show that we have here. Oh, I'm seeing something come in from Corey, who's saying, stoked to see what makes the cut. Well, I am too. I haven't seen Aubrey's picks. I gave her some categories. I got some categories. We're gonna see how it all shakes out in our best of 2017 episode. But let's start off with live series.
Yeah, I almost gave it away. Whew. I am not used to being in this room, guys.
Drum roll.
Well, best live series goes to...
And the award goes to...
HQ Trivia.
That's right, HQ Trivia. HQ Trivia has been sweeping the nation. I think like everyone has been going crazy. I know a lot of people, especially during the 3 p.m. time, aren't getting a lot of work done. They're tuning into this. It's about a 10 to 15 minute live show.
It's a lot longer than I really would want it to be honest. It's pretty, they talk a lot.
Well, it's 12 questions, right? Total of 12
exactly.
questions.
Total of 12 questions.
12 multiple choice. If you get all 12 right, you get a share of the prize pool. The reason why we are calling this, even though it is the most recent series, I would say, the most recent popular series, we're calling this our best of 2017 series because the sheer numbers that it's been getting. I mean,
it's insane.
this past Sunday, they had their first biggest ever prize. prize of $10,000 to the winner. Actually, that's total prize pool.
It's total prize pool. Yeah, so the game works. Everyone gets online or on the app at the same time. They all try to play the same trivia game. And there's 12 questions, and it's like once you miss a question, you're out. And whoever's left at the end and gets all 12 right splits the ultimate prize.
That's right, that's right. So this past weekend, they had over 400,000 live viewers tune in. I mean, that's incredible.
It's incredible. I was actually playing today at 3 p.m., which is why we're just now live, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's all your fault,
it's a little
clearly,
delayed.
because, it's Trivia HQ.
I mean, priorities. But when I played today, there were 316,000 people on it. So
that's crazy.
I mean, and that was for a $1,500 prize, which is like not. Once you split that among you and the other couple thousand people who won, it's not.
Yeah, so
PayPal
it's gotten a
account.
lot of scrutiny. I mean, notable Salad Geek and Quiz Daddy host Scott Rajanowski, whatever his name is. Yeah, he got into a little bit of a spat, I would call it, with the CEO of Sweetgreen that got him into a little bit of hot water.
I don't think I heard about this.
Oh man, it was. You guys can look it up. I'm not going to get into it, but.
But I do want to give a shout out. I know she's probably not watching, but today's host, Emma, did a great job. I think it was her first day.
Oh, we had a new host?
Well, she's like a fill-in. She's not the normal host at all.
Right.
And she was like, "Hey guys, this is my first time here." And I feel like if I knew where her next stand-up was if she's in New York and she was doing stand-up, I would go.
So Quiz Daddy Scott,
quick.
your days are numbered.
Emma's coming for you.
Emma's coming for you. You know, I mean, I really think Aubrey should host this show. I mean, you know, I'd be much more comfortable back there anyway. And she's way better looking on camera. So this HQ Trivia was started by two former Vine founders. They left Vine. They started an app called Hype once Twitter shut down Vine. Hype with a Y.
Hype with a Y.
Yeah,
Not that there is a hype with an I.
the story behind HQ Trivia is that they saw that game show content on Hype was performing better and getting more engagement than anything else.
Oh.
So what they did is they decided to create a game show app and go live with it. So that's basically how that started. There's been a lot of user complaints about the speed of the app. It's been very choppy when it gets
video
over
quality is not good.
Yeah, they say it's pretty good when you're like 100,000 users or so, but once you get over 200,000 users, I guess their servers can't quite support that playback. That's quite a bit. I mean, over 200,000 users is about it's certainly over a terabyte per second that they're gonna have to shell out. From their own servers. I'm not sure if they're using Ikamai or another platform to, or JW Play or something to serve that video, but yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of complaints and from that perspective, but it hasn't prevented anyone from using the app.
No, not at all. I mean, end of the day, it's an extra $5 that you didn't have before.
Right.
If you win.
Right.
So it's like, well, it doesn't hurt. And it's a solid 15 minutes of your day that you're not staring at your computer doing work, so.
Yeah, so check it out. That wins our Trivia HQ Trivia wins our Best of 2017 award for live series. It goes live every weekday at 3 p.m. and again at 9 p.m. and weekends at 9 p.m. Although sometimes, like this past Sunday, they went live again about an hour later at 10 p.m. with another $10,000 prize because they had so many issues with their app. Regardless, I like to see this kind of competition. This is really innovative, and hats off to HQ Trivia, and congratulations on winning Ready Take Live's first Best of award. Let's move on.
Speaking of pretentious.
Yeah, right.
Let's give you an award.
I know you're really excited about that. Let's move on, but before we move on, I have to mention that this episode of Ready Take Live is brought to you by a Midwinter Night's Dram, blend of straight rye whiskeys. This is a limited engagement, Act 5, Scene 5. And it's what Aubrey and I will be enjoying throughout this episode and quite a bit during rehearsal and throughout the day today. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, Mom.
Let's move right along to the Best Live Show of 2017. This is kind of a sadder note we had to give it away for the best live show to this particular event because it set records. I just don't know how to properly introduce this, but
It's fine. It's really fine. It's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna get a lot of complaints here on my Facebook board.
Yeah.
Don't forget to send your comments in on Facebook because I'm seeing them right here, and I'd be happy to answer anything that you all are wondering. The best live show of 2017 goes to the Trump inauguration. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Not to get political.
Yeah, not to get political. This has absolutely nothing to do with any sort of political party affiliation. Obviously, we're doing the show in New York, which means we're a bunch of bleeding liberal Democrats. But, you know, we had to give this award to the Trump inauguration because it was the largest viewership of any live stream ever in history. There was a peak of 4.6 million live viewers. That's concurrent. That's not total. That is at one time. And that happened right as Trump took the stage with his inauguration speech. Of course, it rapidly declined after that, but according to Ikamai, live streaming of the inauguration peaked at 8.7 terabytes per second. I can't believe they spit out 8.7 terabytes per second of data. I mean, this is truly record-breaking. To put
they more held steady even at 7.5, which is still incredible.
Yes.
That they even held, like, that was their norm for this.
Yeah.
7.5.
I mean, surprisingly, the average viewership was very high. It did not drop off that much. And, you know,
if you look at the photos of it, there's less people there, that's for
clearly,
sure, than
there's
there
less
were
people
watching.
there. Yeah.
But
there's less people there. I mean, you're seeing this photo now.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, this was clearly photoshopped by all of us here at Ready Take Live.
Yes.
You know, there were many more people there, loads of people, biggest crowd in history, but, you know, we photoshopped a lot of them out just to make sure that you didn't get the wrong idea.
Hey, if all it takes is to hashtag Ready Take Live at Real Donald Trump, hashtag Ready Take Live, ask us a question, that could be the best possible thing that's come out of this entire series so far.
That's right.
That would be incredible.
That's right.
Incredible.
To put this into context of where this kind of lands in the world of live video, the 2009 inauguration, Ikamai only served out 1.1 terabytes per second of that live stream, and the 2011 royal wedding hit 1.3 terabytes per second. So, you know, and it wasn't just what Ikamai served out. I mean, you know, Twitter live streamed PBS NewsHour's coverage of the event, and that reached 6.824 million unique viewers, which was the most viewers ever in a live video on Twitter, beat out every NFL broadcast and things like that. So, you know, this event surpassed the previous record set by the previous election. Actually, no, it surpassed the record that was set by election 2016, which is for this inauguration.
Yes.
And so we had to give the best live show, best live stream of the year to Trump's inauguration.
And I would like to say, I do love that it's like, well, obviously 2009 only had, you know, they only spit out 1.1 terabytes, but like, that was 8 years, like that was a very long time ago.
Right.
And live streaming has come so far since then. I mean, we're literally doing an entire show about it while live streaming. This was not done in 2009 all the time. You weren't watching Facebook Live, watching people do this. You weren't watching Facebook Live, people doing this 2 years ago. Like, this is a step in a really, really cool direction, and people are able to have wide access to things, especially with so much going on in politics right now. It's really cool that people are able to tap in and feel a part of it and feel like they get to be there in a way. And it's like going to DC, like, end of the day, it's the President of the United States. That's a title. And it's cool for people to be able to say that they were there when that was given to that person. Like, that is an exciting moment.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know how all of you feel out there in the Twitterverse, Facebookverse, whatever, on Trump's inauguration, but I have to tell you, I watched it online, and, you know, I felt like a deep connection to my patriotism, to America. Every time you can see an inauguration and see democracy at work, I mean, it's amazing, regardless of the outcome, that all of us can come together in a peaceful election and a peaceful transfer of power from one hand to the next. It's just so rare, and I think we take it for granted too often.
I think we have a really important question that just popped up.
Yeah.
Rob, how many brands of bourbon have you had on the live show?
Wow, yeah. I would say you all don't see the bourbon because normally I'm standing here, but if you look, if we could cut to this camera over, the center camera, these Ready Take Live blocks right here.
Our buttons.
These are our switcher
These are our
buttons. And about every episode, I have a glass of bourbon hidden behind the green cube right here. And while Aubrey's talking, or Nagurka, or we're under a sot, I step back and take a sip. So I think mostly we've had Willet, we've had Bullet, we've had Basil Hayden's Dark Rye, which was really great.
That was a good one. That was the first episode. We had the Basil Hayden's Dark Rye.
And you know, it's only been like, this is our 5th episode, so there's been 5 bourbons on this on Ready Take Live. Some rye, some bourbon, but you know, let's not like get bogged down in the details. Ooh, before we go on, I see another question that really I like begged Aubrey if I could get into. From Athena Lamar on Facebook. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. How will the issue of net neutrality affect live streaming? That is a very good question. You know, what is going on with net neutrality right now? For those of you who don't know, yesterday was the vote. Yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Yesterday. I mean, it feels like just an eternity, but yesterday was the vote.
Well, they talked for about an eternity on the live stream before they got to voting for it.
So yesterday was the vote that repealed net neutrality. This is, for those of you that don't know, this was an Obama era regulation put up because Comcast was holding ransom Netflix, blocking their streaming service until Netflix paid a premium so that they could allow their users to stream Netflix. Other big network broadband suppliers like Verizon were also doing similar pay-to-play schemes where they were holding, they were slowing people's feeds for them to access services like Facebook and mostly video services at the time, but this could certainly trickle down. The thing is that services like Facebook, Netflix, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, they can afford to pay for that kind of pay-to-play model. In some cases, this could even be passed along to the consumer, saying if you want Netflix to be a part of your internet package, then you got to pay us an extra $10 a month or something like that. Repealing these rules of net neutrality allows the major internet service providers to once again start to cable television model the internet game and restrict access to certain sites unless users pay up for extra. What it also does is it squelches competition because only those who can afford to pay up will be allowed through the blocks, the gates that are put up by the Comcasts and Verizons of the world, Bright Houses, Spectrum, those internet service providers. So what we're thinking is that repealing the net neutrality rules will probably prevent certain startup streaming entities like HQ Trivia, others that want to break into the game and make it virtually impossible so that, just like cable television, it's almost impossible to start your own cable network and unless you become in partnership with one of the bigger networks.
Oprah forever to do it, people.
Took
and
Oprah
she's
forever.
Oprah.
Yeah, and even then it's in partnership with some of the other networks. And
Win? Is that also her though? That might not.
Yeah, maybe.
Win free.
But like for instance, like Viceland, Vice would have never been able to do it without the power of HBO at their back. So you'll see the same thing happen in streaming. if net neutrality is allowed to stand. My hope is that these unelected bureaucrats sitting on the chair of the FCC will be replaced by the next president. We've spent way too much time. We have another episode that I want to do, my straight to camera truth bath on net neutrality. But for right now, we need to get back to our best of awards because that was super depressing. Yeah, let's give Aubrey a break here and see how you're doing in the control room with cutting the show.
I'm fine, guys. Keep going.
Okay, get back in here. Yeah, okay, yeah. We've got a ton of more show.
Faster than the speed of light.
I literally, like, as soon as I
Faster.
turn to my left, she's back. I don't know what to do. But yeah, we've got a lot more show to get through. Let's keep going. Next up in our Best of 2017 awards is our Best Live Music of 2017. Yeah, and this one goes to one of my favorite girls in the whole world, Ariana Grande.
I didn't know this about you.
Oh, I'm a huge Ariana Grande fan.
Okay.
I mean,
Good to know.
and this one goes to Ariana Grande's One Love benefit concert. As you all may know, there was a terrible attack that happened in Manchester during her concert in London. And then a couple weeks later, she put together a benefit concert, came back with Justin Bieber, Pharrell Williams, Coldplay, Miley Cyrus, a bunch of
incredible list of people.
Katy Perry.
It was just like let's just bring all of the musical artists who've ever performed at the Grammys and let's put them in Manchester for one show.
Yeah.
And they're all gonna do it for free and they're all gonna do an incredible job.
That's right.
It was like the production value was really, really good.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, and when Ariana sang "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," like I got a little choked up, a little teary-eyed. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, this was amazing because there was over 50,000 people live in the arena in Manchester, but BBC One aired the entire show, the entire 3-hour performance, which actually got an average audience of 10.9 million live viewers.
Oh my God.
Which that's an average audience. I think that there were over 22 million total viewers, becoming the most watched TV event ever. Which is pretty surprising,
awesome.
you know, pretty amazing that how music can conquer hate and how love triumphs all and all of that. They raised more than £2 million for the survivors, the injured, and the people who unfortunately lost their lives during the Manchester attack. And, you know, hats off to Ariana Grande and everyone who made that possible. A couple more facts here about that broadcast. Freeform here in the US aired the concert in its entirety as soon as it ended, something with rights, whatever. And 1 hour highlights went out to all ABC affiliates around the country. Also, MTV live streamed the entire concert. And they got an amazing viewership out of that. So hats off to Ariana Grande and congratulations to everyone who took part in making the One Love benefit concert come to reality. And of course, I know the biggest thing that you were waiting on, winning the Ready Take Live Best of 2017 award for Best Live Music.
Best live music, Ariana.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well
keep
done.
up the good work.
Well done. Well done.
And keep up the good work.
Yeah.
That might, and not to be like, but it's like, it's really cool that she did that.
It is
That
really
is
cool.
like, that's really,
It is really cool.
That's a step above, like, that's a horrifying event and that's a horrifying thing to happen to a group of people who have supported you in a way that you would have never expected to be supported by a group of people. And for her to feel so connected to those people at the same time and want to do that for them was like really special.
Yeah.
I think it was really cool.
It really was. You know, I think it's time that we go ahead and pour out a little bit of rye whiskey for all of those that were attacked during the Manchester.
He's had enough. That's
attacks.
enough for Rob. That's enough.
Yeah, we'll clean
We're
that
done.
up here in a second.
Let's move on to the next one was the winner for Live 360 VR. Look at that, double Rob. We got double Rob in there.
Too many Robs.
Too many Robs. So the winner for Live 360 VR, you may have guessed, hint, we talked about their last year's stream on this show, was the 2017 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah. I mean, hey, come on. We're New Yorkers. We love Macy's Parade, and we also have some people, some friends who work on the show.
Biased,
Yeah, we almost had a little piece of the show a couple years ago.
But a good dude has a lot of the show, so that's really awesome.
Exactly. So
I actually got to speak with him about this because I mean,
we could say his name.
Yeah. Tom Sullivan, you do a great show.
Great show. Great job with the 360 VR show. And Eddie Delbridge, I think, is a part of it. Yeah.
It was really awesome. They had 7, I'm going to pronounce this wrong because I've never said it out loud before, Ozo cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Ozo VR cameras.
Yeah, Ozo. It's made by Nokia.
Real nice.
They're the most expensive, most elite thing ever to hit 360.
And they
have
had
spatial audio. They have everything.
7 of them, all along the parade route.
They have everything.
They have everything. The 2 of them were on mini jibs, which I was talking to one of the Nicks who we have working here, and he was talking about watching it when it was on the jib, and he spun it around and was not more enjoying. The parade is really great, but he enjoyed watching the jib operator and the crew behind the scenes because he just spun his 360 around and watched them, and I was like, what a cool behind the scenes moment too. But then they also had a camera streaming on a float as well that they could take wirelessly, which was really cool. And 7 all in 4K. And they had a really cool graphics system as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
That allowed them to layer.
The 360 graphics were amazing. They could place them spatially throughout the unit.
They had a shot of a billboard, and then as you're watching it, that billboard became their hosts, and it was like their hosts were on the billboard talking about the parade, which is really cool. And also, what a fun team to be a part of, to be able to put all that together. And the quality was just really solid. So.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a winner.
We're actually seeing something come in from Facebook. Again, we're using the Wowza Clearcaster, so I'm seeing Facebook comments in real time, following along with you at home. And we got a question from Clara saying, willing to see Ready Take Live in 360 someday. Have you thought about that? We have, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I have. And, we thought about doing it. And certainly we have the capability here in-house at LiveX to stream this in 360. I think it's a great thing for some people who enjoy that kind of thing. But
it would be,
I don't know.
I think we'd have to rethink this a little bit.
I tell you what. If Claire's comment gets more than let's set a low bar.
Okay.
If Claire's comment gets more than 10 likes, then more than 10 likes.
10?
Yeah, that's it. We shoot high just to come in low. But anyway, if Claire's comment gets more than 10 likes,
so what do we have to do?
We will stream the next episode of Ready Take Live.
The next one.
The next episode in 2018, our first episode of 2018, we will stream it in 360 from the InstaPro 360.
I was gonna say, we gotta do it from the InstaPro.
Yeah.
That's what we like to do.
Absolutely. I've got one more question from Facebook here, from Andrew Hinkelman. We love Andrew. I'm addicted to HQ, he said. Never even thought about using green screen in my streaming videos. What's the best software to load onto my computer to make this doable? Honestly, vMix. I mean, the cheapest, easiest software to use chroma key on and whatever, and the most open system. Is vMix. Now, hopefully you said to load onto my computer. Hopefully you have a PC because it's not available for Mac. But if you do want to use it, use some sort of green screen software on Mac, honestly, I can't help you.
Yeah. Not for live streaming.
Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on. Yeah. So, wait, Aubrey, how are you hanging with us in the control room? Yeah, so we've got, oh man, yeah, I mean.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You look a little confused.
Don't worry about it. It's just part of the experience.
Yeah.
It's just part of the and you know, just to keep experiential is our next category. How perfect is that, guys?
Yeah.
So the next category is Best Live Experiential for 2017.
That's right.
And to be honest, I feel like there weren't that many contenders. Not to say this is not a good winner, but the winner for Best Live Experiential is He Will Not Divide Us.
That's right.
We are apparently extremely political today, which we are not normally.
It's not intentional.
FYI.
It's not intentional. It was a very political year, as we all know.
Yeah. And we've now shown both sides. It's fine. He Will Not Divide Us, which is part of 3 artists, one of which, and the most notable for most people, being Mr. Shia LaBeouf, formerly of Even Stevens' Disney Channel. The camera was first placed at the Museum of the Moving Image.
Yes, it was.
In Astoria, Queens, literally 2 blocks from my apartment. And it was exactly that. It was a security camera on an exterior wall with a sign above it that said, "He will not divide us." And the idea was that you would walk around and that you would say, "He will not divide us," or whatever you want to, into the camera, and it would live stream 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to the He Will Not Divide Us page. And there were people that came up and said other things. There were people that just stood there. A lot of young people seemed to just want to hang out. But it actually,
they wanted to hang out with Shia LaBeouf.
I mean,
like, who doesn't want to hang out with Shia LaBeouf?
It's true.
I mean, the guy is, probably one of the most party savvy celebrities out there. I mean,
he's also extremely talented. He just seems to have gone down an interesting wormhole. So
he did. He's an interesting character. I really admire that he put this project together.
Yeah.
And that he convinced the Museum of the Moving Image in Queens who was a natural fit for this.
Oh, yeah. They're incredible.
Yeah, to take this on. And the site the URL that he got for this was hewillnotdivide.us, which I thought was brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
It went up on January 20th, Inauguration Day.
Yep.
And that was the whole purpose.
The initial idea was that it would stream for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, for the entire 4 years of Trump's presidency, and anybody could come up and give a cry of unity, a cry of solidarity, and say into the camera, "He will not divide us." Unfortunately, the location itself and the Museum of the Moving Image in Queens received some threats from some alt-right groups, and they had some.
It got pretty bad. Even
they had
just
some heated
outside,
exchanges.
there were a lot of cops there all the time. I watched a beautiful exchange between a gentleman who felt strongly one way and then a group of people who felt strongly another, and it was honestly
a peaceful exchange.
It was very peaceful, and they were angry, but they weren't violent towards each other. And I thought I was very interested by it. I actually we have a nice setup here on our desks with multiple monitors, and I would keep one of the monitors up with this when it was going on, because this is incredible. This is an incredible live streaming experience for someone, and I watched it and I was enthralled by it for a solid 20 minutes.
Another question on Facebook. Again, we're using the Wowza Clearcaster to bring in live Facebook comments that I see right in front of me here. Is from Corey. He says, "He Will Not Divide Us" was a good idea that was not really thought through very well. I agree with that. It was just a cry for help. It was a lashing out from Shia LaBeouf and everyone who felt like the election cycle was very divisive. And hats off to Shia for putting it together, but not only for putting it together, but he himself stood there for 48 hours, 72 hours,
Very
a
long
week.
time.
I mean, he was so tired. People were bringing him food. People were bringing him drinks.
He also did that weird art installation where he like stood in one place for 24 hours and you could do whatever you wanted to him for like, then he just stood there. Wasn't that him?
Yeah.
So yes, it's very cool, but at the same time, I'm like, that's totally in character for him.
He's a true artist. I mean, he's a true artist.
You know?
Let's face it. I mean, I'm gonna do this thing
God,
and my
what are you
TV is
doing?
gonna hate me,
What are you
but
doing?
basically the majority of it was this. He will not divide us. He will not divide us.
Step back, Rob. Step back. You're too close to
And
the
that's
camera.
actually how it looked
Yeah.
online because Shia
Yeah.
LaBeouf was sitting there and
Yeah.
it was good though.
It was
I'm
good.
glad that
it was good.
I'm glad that I lost my IP out the back.
Well, I'll finish this up with it only lasted for about 30 days, 31 days that were, it ended February 20th, February 10th, math, January 20th through February 10th. And then it went on an expedition around a couple different places and it finally ended up in Europe. And it's a flag. And at one point they were not telling people where it was gonna end up. It's very experiential. It wins the award, Best Live Experiential. I think the bar none, really. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's all we need to say about that. Moving on.
Yeah.
Next category.
Next category. This actually brings us to the end of our What's Going On Best of 2017. Those of you who watch the show know that we do a segment each week called What's Going On, where we break down the latest news in live media. So that was our What's Going On Best of 2017. Now we're gonna move into our Ready Take segment.
We have one more, Rob.
Oh.
We have one more. We have live fails.
Oh, like I just did.
Yes.
Yay! All right, so we have live
gracious.
fails. Yeah, so this was
We'll get
just
through
kind
these,
of a
guys.
fun
We'll get
thing.
through
We're just
these.
gonna rapid fire
Yeah.
these off.
Yeah.
The best live fails of 2017. Obviously, all of you remember and could never forget the interview kid interruption on the BBC.
Oh my God, so funny.
So the kid comes in and the dad very quickly just shoos him away and shuts the door, and he was on live with the BBC. BBC proper, not any of the affiliates.
Yeah.
It was pretty hilarious. It went viral. I think everyone's seen this. I don't think anyone needs to be rehashed too much.
It'll
on
be
this.
great in 20 years when they're like, that's what this kid looks like now. That's what's gonna be funny again about this.
Yeah.
It had its time.
Yeah.
It's time.
The next live fail, you want to tell them
Yeah,
about it?
sure. The next live fail was at the Oscars, the Best Picture announcement that wasn't the Best Picture.
This was the
everyone
La La
remembers
Land,
La La Land,
Moonlight,
yep,
fiasco.
terrible fiasco that
And
happened.
I'm having a live fail right now with
No
my
one's looking at
IP.
you. It's fine. We got a
Yeah,
good
so
team.
this was the La La Land moment where they came up, they started their acceptance speech, and they had to come back out. PricewaterhouseCooper,
Yep.
Price
I think it's
PricewaterhouseCooper made a huge mistake, and they gave them the wrong.
Oh yeah, no, it was the trophy person. They were giving Emma Stone's. They were trying to give Emma Stone her trophy backstage and her card, and there's 2 copies of each of the cards. And then they were so flustered by Emma. It was Emma Stone who won last year. I think it was Emma Stone. Yes, for La La Land.
Yes.
And then they gave that same card to the next people coming out. He saw it, opened it. Obviously, the best picture was not Emma Stone, but he sees La La Land. He reads that, and then that's when they pulled Jimmy aside, Jimmy Kimmel, and they're like, you gotta go out there. It didn't win. They gave him the wrong card.
Yeah.
So it technically probably wasn't the accounting people. It was the PA who was given the job of the trophy. But that was a lot of pressure for them to be put under. So it's forgivable.
You know, we've seen a lot of this with award shows, the
Yeah.
famous Steve Harvey Miss Universe one.
Yeah.
And,
That's
that's
a scholarship. That's a scholarship.
I feel
not
like
an award show.
Yeah.
That's a scholarship
Right. It's not an award show.
Not an award
It is a scholarship. It's a educational institution.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like this happens a lot with award shows. I mean, we have a lot of live fails that go on with award shows. I mean, notably like Winona Ryder and her a reaction to during the speech that was given for the acceptance of that award. But
and the pizza gift that came after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But our last live fail, best of 2017, that we're going to talk about is this was a BBC host that sat silently on air for 4 minutes because there was some sort of technical glitch that happened, and they couldn't cut away from him, and they couldn't roll in anything. And he didn't know he was live on air, but he literally sat silent for 4 entire minutes on BBC proper in the UK.
It was 4 minutes, 23 seconds to be exact. I watched it back the other day.
You guys can Google it. It's really funny.
And he just opens the show as if nothing has gone wrong.
Yeah.
Hello
It
and
was
welcome back to World News Tonight. It's so good.
It was literally like nobody in the control room actually knew that this happened.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone, because they literally just counted him in, or you have probably one of the most brilliant ADs or directors in history that literally knew all of this was burning down in the background, and then just said, just don't tell him, and then
they're lucky that he didn't
counted him into the show.
They're lucky that he didn't have to I don't know, fix his hair or do something embarrassing on camera. He's not
seen a lot
thinking
of
anyone's
this.
watching.
A lot of people are embarrassed, do embarrassing things when they think they're not on camera. We've kind of referenced that in one of our cold opens, but I've got a question from my favorite viewer, Michael Abbott Jr., the man, the myth, the legend himself. I've got a question coming in on Facebook from him. Again, we're seeing this off of the Wowza Clearcaster Talent View. He says, live fail, ? How about Mariah Carey at New Year's Eve? All right, yeah.
That's a good one.
So, Mike, this actually was a highly debated topic of whether or not we were going to include Mariah Carey at New Year's Eve, because this was the ultimate live fail. Probably, if we did a best of the last decade, then the Mariah Carey performance at last year's New Year's Eve would take the cake. But unfortunately, as you know, it happened before 12:01 midnight.
Ew.
And so it happened in 2016. So we couldn't rightfully say that it happened in 2017. So that's why it didn't make our list. But we just highlighted a couple things. And if we had given our top award, then I would say, even though it happened just before midnight, that it qualifies, and Mariah Carey at New Year's Eve last year was the biggest live fail.
It was a huge fail.
Huge
fail. All right, now we can move on.
So that was our What's Going On, Best of 2017. Now we're gonna talk about the best gear of 2017. For all you gearheads out there, I know this is the part of the episode that y'all really came to watch. I want to see, before we move on, how we're holding up in the MCR. Oh! Wait! Who's that? Oh! The jig is up, Makosi. You've been back there the whole time. Come on.
Just having some bourbon.
What do you got there?
MCR today is brought to you by Willet.
That's right.
Oh, Willet.
Willet is the MCR sponsor, and
I bet we had you guys going for a bit though, right?
Right, yeah.
For a
I mean,
bit.
nobody thought that we actually pre-taped that and rolled it in. I mean, it was just okay. Yeah.
But I think now that we might have just set ourselves up to be one of the best live fails for 2017, right?
Yeah.
Did we do it? Okay, moving on.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we need to keep moving.
All right, we gotta get through these quick. We gotta speed
People
this
are
up.
gonna start commenting, how long is this gonna last?
Yeah, I got a lot of bourbon to drink too. So that's now we're gonna get into the best gear of 2017. And first up, drum roll. The best camera of 2017 for live production goes to
Drum roll.
the Blackmagic Design Ursa Mini Pro.
Bum, 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 bum.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so the reason why we chose the Ursa Mini Pro is not just because we use them here on Ready Take Live, it's also because of its live functionality with ATEM Production Studio that allows you to use DaVinci Resolve color wheels to be able to color correct in real time what's going on with the image. And as opposed to its predecessor, which honestly was a big piece of crap, the Ursa Mini Pro fixed all of the fixed pattern noise issues. It fixed a lot of the noise issues at high ISO, high gain. It added in ND filters, a lot of external controls that make it possible to be a run and gun type camera. And it is a 4.6K resolution camera that in a single 12G SDI out the back of the camera, we can get 4K 60p directly into our switch. And in case you're interested in seeing what that looks like, switch over to YouTube at LiveX Production and you can watch this show in 4K on YouTube and you can see what the Ursa Mini Pro looks like in all of its 4K glory live. So I just had to pick this camera because there wasn't a whole lot of innovation in camera technology this year. We didn't see much at NAB. We were very disappointed that we didn't see a lot of 12G options. The Ursa Mini Pro was the only thing to do this. So, you know, I had to throw this in there as my pick for the Ursa Mini Pro. But Aubrey had a different pick.
I did have a different pick. My pick for best camera of 2017 was the Google Pixel 2.
Hey-o.
We'll throw a wrench in things.
Yeah.
Most people are live streaming from their phones, to be honest.
Yes.
That's the majority of live streaming at this point.
So what do you like about the Google Pixel 2?
What I like about the Google Pixel 2, first of all, is that it's a legit competitor with the iPhone. I am all Apple. I have an iPhone, I have an Apple Watch, I have an iPad, I have a Mac, I have a Mac for work. I have a lot of Apple products. And this was the first time that when I was getting a new phone, I was like, maybe I should actually look into the Google phone.
Yeah.
Because the picture quality is incredible. I know a couple of DPs actually who purposefully chose this phone after being Apple enthusiasts because of the camera. The camera's just so much better. It renders its images straight from the camera, unlike the iPhone. So they come out clear. The only thing is the iPhone is better in low light. So it works better for that. And the iPhone still has better audio. So Pixel, you can still do better, but you're not doing bad.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard this from a lot of people, especially like, you know, we do a lot of shows with The Verge and Dieter Bohn, who's, I think, co-founding editor or something of The Verge. He carries both a Pixel 2 XL and a iPhone X with him currently.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, he has nothing but good things to say about Pixel, and I've heard a lot of good things about both Pixel and the Pixel Buds, which are a good alternative to AirPods. And, you know.
I don't like AirPods, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe you'll like Pixel Buds.
Maybe I like Pixel Buds, but I have an iPhone, so.
You can use Pixel Buds with an iPhone. They just won't sync as easily.
Okay.
Whatever. Actually, iPhone, you're a bunch of, you know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, the next category.
Wait. Before we go, I'm seeing some things that come in. Some corrections from Corey here. The Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro has DaVinci Resolve built in with ATEM Live and 12G SDI, plus it also records RAW at the same time at 4.6K. And Clara, once again, is commenting on Facebook here saying, and the best behind the scenes photography goes to Blackmagic Design as well. I'm not quite sure if those people in that photography are actually production people, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
They do a very good job with their marketing photos.
Yeah.
All
right.
All right, now we can move on.
Yes, we can. So moving on, we did the best camera. Now I think we need to do the best lens for live production.
Yep. What is it, Rob? What is it?
This is the Canon CNE Cineservo 18-80 T4 servo lens from Canon that just came out that shattered price points. all across the Cine Servo lens category. It's a Super 35 compatible lens that has a servo motorized zoom built in. It has autofocus, image stabilization, and it has a standard 0.8 Fujinon pitch in its gears. It also will, it'll do just about everything you need for run and gun type of work. It's very compact, it's very light. They came out with its sister lens, the 7200, also T4.4 f4 is what you get out of this. It's a little slow from that perspective, but this lens costs only about $5,000, whereas anything in this range, like a Fujinon 19-90 or something of that nature at 2.8 or lower, Angino Optimo DP Rouge, something like that, you're gonna spend like about $30,000 for that lens. So this was revolutionary in what it did for the Super 35 sensor category. And we were really happy to see it come out for our Ursa Mini Pros. And I think it makes a perfect companion for live, because one of the biggest knocks on large sensor cameras is that you can't use them in a live environment because you can't make live moves. You can't zoom, and it's not really conducive with a larger sensor to have very expensive large lenses. Some of these lenses, I remember the first live production I did with a Super 35 lens, I was using like a Cook 25 to 250. This lens is legitimately like this big, and it weighs about 50 pounds, and you need a very, very heavy duty O'Connor tripod to be able to man it. So very happy that this lens comes in very light and very good price point. I would highly recommend it for anybody who has a Canon mount. I believe they make it in PL as well, but PL is being phased out. Anyway, moving on to the best software switcher of 2017, and it really kind of pains me to say this, not really, because I do work more than anything on TriCaster, but it's the TriCaster TC1.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. So the TriCaster TC1 wins my Best of 2017 for Software Switchers Award because it is the most innovative software switcher released in 2017. I will say it's not the best switcher for everyone to go out and purchase, but it is the most innovative. It does push the boundaries beyond what we've seen in the past. It is the first mostly all IP over NDI, but still IP, software switcher to come on the market. You can have 16 inputs. It only has 4 3G SDI on the back, so no 12G, you can't get any of that. You can use NewTek Connect boxes to turn baseband video into NewTek NDI, but when you do that, actually, the TC1 gives you 4K 60p, 16 inputs, 4 MEs, 4 DSKs per ME. It has Skype TX built right in. You don't have to buy another Skype TX
seriously?
box. Yes.
I didn't realize that.
It has Skype TX built
legit.
right in. I believe it has 4 channels of Skype TX, so it's like the Skype quad box. You don't have to buy an additional Skype box, which is kind of amazing. It has dual encoding channels, so you can stream to, it has presets for Facebook Live and a few others, Microsoft Azure or whatever. Real-time social media sharing and integration. You can bring in social media comments. 2 video servers or DDRs, which is the DDR bins for playback. 5 media players total, which include the 2 GFX channels and a sound player. It has 10 animation players, 5 still frame buffers, record and replay. You can control it through NewTek's Live Panel for iOS app for iOS, for iPad and both your iPhone as well. And there's 2 control panel options that were made specifically for the TC1. So it truly is the most innovative software switcher solution released in 2017. The box itself comes in at right around 20 grand. If you want the biggest panel, the biggest upgrade, whatever, biggest package, it comes in around 40 grand, which is not that bad when you're considering something that is an all-in-one operator solution. You don't have to have playback engineer, you don't have to have EVS, you don't have to have graphics or Chiron or whatever. I believe the TC1 is a logical beautiful upgrade to the 8000 XD, which is a switcher that I cut about 6 to 8 shows a week on currently. And I think that TriCaster is continuing to push the boundaries with IP video, and they really were the first to make it fully integrated, even though our big hometown hero, Martin over at vMix, integrated NDI in all of his products. I think that NDI is not quite there yet, but IP video certainly is the modus of the future, and I can't wait to see what 2018 has in store for IP video and IP switchers.
Yeah, I think you left out the bowl of popcorn that the TriCaster also makes you.
Yes.
That list of things.
Yes, that list of things. It makes you a bowl of popcorn.
Yeah,
it does it. You know,
changes
shines
the
your
oil in
shoes.
your car and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, it really is like the easiest live switcher to, the easiest software switcher to work in.
Okay.
You know, my biggest knock on vMix is that they have no organization. There's no auxes. I have no way of having multiple overlays in an aux while not putting them in program.
Yeah, but I mean, I think vMix is very much meant for, like, it's very good for what it was created to do at first.
Yes,
and they're
absolutely.
they're definitely growing in more of a broadcast way, which is great. And we use it. We use it all the time. We use it every day. We literally use it every day.
We at LiveX use it every day, and
we love vMix. It also wins, guys.
We love vMix.
It also wins.
vMix also wins, and I'll tell you why. Because vMix really doesn't care what you give it. TriCaster's a little more finicky. You can have crawling playback issues and things like that on TriCaster, especially if you like to use ProRes or animation or other codecs that may bog down the system. TriCaster really prefers that. NewTek really prefers that you use its Speed HQ codec, which I know everyone who's listening and watching at home has never heard of Speed HQ. That's because everyone doesn't download Speed HQ codecs for Premiere or Final Cut or whatever to export them. And that's what they say anytime you have a problem with playback. In particular, we've had a problem at Vox Media with a lot of black lines in our program feed that's been going on for like 2 months, and NewTek can't fix the issue. So there are plenty of drawbacks to any NewTek device, but as far as innovation in our Best of 2017 award, the TriCaster TC1 takes the cake.
Yep. And now we just did software. Let's move to hardware.
Hardware switchers, my
With
favorite.
Our beautiful graphic.
Yeah.
I love this one. So
I mean, hats off to Clara, who has given us these beautiful graphics to work with all season long, and she really outdid herself with everything here for the Best of 2017. I really thank you so much, Clara, for joining us.
If we had a studio audience, we would make them all clap for you right now, just so you know. All of them. There would be applause signs everywhere.
That's
and they'd
right.
be clapping for Clara.
Oh, look at that! Yeah,
Hey, we got her!
Everyone in our control room.
You guys
in case
are
you didn't
crushing
know,
it, seriously.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you guys so
are
much.
crushing it. And
Speaking of hardware switchers, though, what
I
is
gotta
Nick
get on with this
McCosey
show.
using?
Nick McCosey, you are using the ATEM 2ME Production Studio 4K. That is our choice, our hardware switcher of choice for LiveX and for Ready Take Live Best of 2017. The reason why we chose this is that, as you can see, if we can cut to McCosey back
There
here. Yeah. As you can see, it is a beautiful panel.
You gotta Vanna White
with
it right now,
LCD
Nick. Vanna White.
readouts of
Thank
all
you.
your inputs
Yes.
and all your sources. It is a 2ME, 4 DSK, 2 upstream keyer switcher. It does all 12G SDI for 4K 60p. It is one of the few switchers on the market that does 4K 60p. Normally Aubrey is manning the switcher. McCosey, what do you have to say? How are you enjoying your first time at this switcher here?
I love it actually, Rob. We've played around with it in the studio a lot, but I've actually never done a live show on this board before, and it's really great. It's actually really intuitive. It's very deep. There's a lot of awesome stuff in it, but I don't find it hard to find where things are, and it just feels great.
You're crushing it back there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I hope you've had more of that bourbon since we last saw you.
This right here?
This empty bottle right here? Hey! Okie dokie.
So,
Yeah.
you know, we
And-
talked about
yeah.
the ATEM and how we use it here quite a bit. I don't want to
I
really
use the
rehash
one
it.
Emmy. I keep hitting.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I keep hitting my mic. I'm not used to being on screen talent.
That's all right.
We use the ATEM 1 Emmy for over 16 shows a week that we do. So
Wow.
like, either one of these, I fully support.
Yeah. You know, even the ATEM television studio, which we have an unboxing of. If you go to @LiveX Productions YouTube page, you can watch an unboxing of the most compact hardware switcher to come out on the market with the ATEM functionality is the ATEM Television Studio Pro HD. I feel like that is gonna hit home for a lot of people.
Yeah.
We also have a Ross Carbonite Black Solo that is a great mobile
Yeah.
hardware switcher solution, but it can't do quite as many things.
We usually end up chaining that with a vMix solution.
Yes.
And it's
With a
never by
production
itself.
bot, actually,
With a
with a
production
production bot,
yes.
which actually all of the graphics that you're seeing, which is our typical workflow here in a hardware switcher environment, is coming out of our LiveX custom graphics solution running production bot. When we're not using our LiveX graphics solution, we are using vMix for playback and graphics, and we're sending a chroma key background that can be keyed out inside of ATEM or the Carbonite for playback and graphics coming out of vMix. But it's all being run off of Production Bot. That's productionbot.net. Small plug there, but we think it is the best hardware solution for software switchers.
Speaking of graphic solutions, though.
Speaking of graphic solutions, it's time to announce the best graphic solution of 2017.
Yes.
And if it weren't for the LiveX custom graphic solution, which is only a service, not a product quite yet, it is Tagboard.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Tagboard. You
So-
might not know about it.
Yeah,
You're about
Tagboard. Tagboard isn't what you would call a traditional graphic solution. It is not a playback solution. It is not a Chiron solution. It's not a lower third solution. It's not any of those things. So you might ask, why are we featuring it as our best graphic solution of 2017? All of our shows, we have a problem with getting social media in an effective way and to allow talent to moderate that. And so what Tagboard is a dashboard layout that pulls in Twitter comments in real time. It'll also pull in IG as well.
It will.
Yeah.
It'll pull on Facebook too.
Facebook
It pulls in all three.
Facebook posts and comments actually.
Yes.
And what it does is it gives you a customizable interface that you can select either a full screen, a lower third, or a ticker to give you everything that you would need to throw into your live show. Tagboard is the best solution for that. It's absolutely idiot-proof. You can give it to every social media manager on your staff. And they're not idiots by any means, but I mean from a graphic solution. Anybody who's sat down at a Chiron knows that it's like an arcane DDoS workflow. It's like, it might as well be a green lettering system with like the old pages that come out in like typeface that go like that's how Chiron basically works. So to get a social media or marketing manager to use something like a broadcast graphic solution is virtually impossible. And let's face it, broadcast graphics operators don't want to be moderating social comments.
No, they
That's
don't.
not something they're particularly
they also have
skilled at.
more things to do.
Yes.
They have other things they need to be doing. It's not important for them. It's another job. That's
Yeah.
another job.
So that's not something they're particularly skilled at, nor is it something they want to do. And what the best part about Tagboard is that you can have it, you can have a talent feed on set that shows you only the comments, Facebook posts, YouTube or Twitter, Instagram posts related to your content that somebody else has moderated for them, so they don't have to accidentally put something on air that isn't supposed to be on air. We use Tagboard for a lot of shows. Most notably, it is featured in every single episode of the Mr. Robot Digital After Show, hosted by The Verge, in partnership with USA. And the main host, Nilay Patel, has a Microsoft Surface Pro. where he pulls up tagboard comments. Now, the Microsoft Surface Pro is also, I'm gonna pull an audible here and name it
God.
our best tablet of 2017.
I'm literally holding an iPad, Rob.
You know what? The biggest problem with the iPad is that you can't get 1920 by 1080 out of it, let's face it. And this is a huge problem for broadcast. So Microsoft Surface Pro can run full, it runs Windows 10.
Yeah.
So it can run full.
Well, it's a computer.
It's a computer.
It's I'm holding an iPad mini. We
Yeah.
have iPad Pros. They're more similar to it. But yes,
Yes.
I know what you mean. The Surface is a good product. It's a good product.
It's
fine.
infinitely more capable for live production than the iPad. And hats off to Microsoft for creating such an amazing product that's infinitely customizable, as we know and love from our PC base and Microsoft users.
Awesome.
So yeah, we have. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Our next category is actually Best Audio Console of 2017. And because you know I don't know anything about audio, and Nagurka is actually, if you watch this show, you'll know that Nick Nagurka is our resident audio engineer here at LiveX.
This is for all you super fans out there.
Super fans. Nagurka actually got married this past week. Congratulations to Nick Nagurka. And
Katie Holden.
Katie Nagurka now, probably. I don't know.
Think she'll change her name.
Holden Nagurka, maybe?
No, I think she'll say Holden.
I'm down with that.
I don't know.
think
Maybe
that's
he'll
cool.
be Nick Holden. Who knows?
I think that's even better. Nick, change your name to Nick Holden. Do it. Because I think it's way better than Nagurka.
But we're still going to call you Nagurka no matter what.
We still call you Gurka. Anyway, Nagurka actually is on his honeymoon in Miami, my favorite place in the entire world. You know, Aubrey and I are both from Florida, and I try to go down to Miami at least once or twice a year. And Nagurka went down with Corey and I to go do a show for Nike with Nadama Kongsu and Kevin Hart a while back. And we spent like 2 days in Miami, and I think he fell in love with it at that time. And he decided to have his honeymoon down there on South Beach. He's staying at the Betsy. And
if you're in Miami,
so if you're in Miami,
go find him.
It's a great time to be in Miami. They just had Art Basel. They have the Miami Street Photography Festival going on right now. It's a great time to be in Miami.
I will say Pitbull will not be hosting their New Year's Eve, though. That is a big upset
that true?
right now in Miami, yes.
Oh man,
Yes.
I mean,
It was
hearts
a big
just broke
upset,
across the Ready Take Live
Just saying.
audience.
Okay, keep going.
So yes, so I harassed him on his honeymoon and asked him to send in this video of the best audio console for live production of 2017, and here's what he had to say. Take a look.
Hey guys, happy to be joining you this week from Miami on my honeymoon with my beautiful wife Katie. And I'm happy to give the award for Best Live Audio Console of 2017, which goes to the Soundcraft VI1000, which I think is going to be a QL5 killer. It's a small form factor console, and it's basically a baby Studer Vista, and it offers a lot of the same touchscreen auto mixing and routing features that the Vistonics software offers to power users. So I think it's going to be a great, fantastic console for the live streaming market, and sitting at around 10 or 11 grand, and I really look forward to checking one out. Take care, guys. Back to you.
Hi.
Thanks for that, Nagurka. Congratulations again, and we are gonna toast to you. We're gonna toast to you right now.
Shout out to Katie. I
And
see you in his
shut up.
sunglasses. That was a very good video, Katie.
Great video.
Very good.
I actually
Very steady hand. I think that's
very steady hand.
If you ever want to work at LiveX.
I actually recognize the street art that was behind him. That is in Wynwood in Miami. But cheers to Nick Nagurka, our resident audio engineer here at Ready Take Live. And he's not here, so my IFB keeps calling
You're
out.
not meant to have an IFB today.
Yeah,
It's okay. I'll keep us going.
Yeah.
Our next award is for Best Encoder of 2000. Oh, I didn't even drink. It's bad
Cheers.
luck to cheers and not drink. Our Best Encoder of 2017, which we have two, of course. Well, we're going, guys. We're going.
Start with Aubrey's.
The first one is the Teradek Core. So I've talked in the past about the Teradek Bond, about the Teradek Cube. That's fine. I'll talk to you guys right now. Teradek Core is a web platform. So if you have a Teradek Cube, Teradek Bond, Teradek T-Rex, any of the above, you are streaming to the Teradek Core platform. That has, it's got all of your, it's a great setup. So they're all like drop-down menus for like destinations or channels. So you set up, oh, I want to go to this Facebook page, or I want to go to this RTMP source, or anything like this. And you choose your encoders. Based on that, you find your encoders and you put them on your channel. And then you literally click and drag over and drop them in so that we know which encoder needs to go to which channel. It's a very easy and obvious go live button at the bottom of it that you click. You can do multiple in one, like multiple sends from one feed.
Yeah, multi distribution. I mean, that's the key to Teradek Core. I actually have some. No, I don't know if I can break that news, so I'm gonna hold off on that.
Yeah,
but some
I was wondering if we were allowed to talk about that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Very exciting things coming from Teradek.
And if that's not exciting enough to hear us talk about things we can't talk about, let's move on to the next winner of Best Encoders.
Yeah. So my pick for Best Encoder in 2017 is the Wowza Clearcaster.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, so the Wowza Clearcaster, I was absolutely floored when I saw them come out with this, and we were very lucky to have one, courtesy of Wowza, in the studio. And I also did an unboxing of this at LiveX Productions YouTube page. The Wowza Clearcaster is the first ever encoder made in partnership with Facebook for Facebook Live. Now, why this is important is because everyone has had that moment where they're not sure whether they're live on Facebook yet. If you're streaming via RTMP, you're waiting on Slate, you're sending maybe a countdown clock or other things, and you're never really sure of when you're exactly live. This is a problem because if people tune in to your video after the fact on VOD, there's no ability to trim on Facebook. So you have to make sure you start talking as close to when you were actually live as possible. And Wowza has simplified this problem for everyone and made the Clearcaster in partnership with Facebook. So they have a countdown clock that lets the talent know exactly when they're live on Facebook. We used it today. We'll see how it works. You can go back to this VOD if you're watching on VOD, check our work and go back and see when you press play on the video, does it actually start live when we think it's live? We were watching, I have a monitor in front of me that is giving me a countdown from 15 seconds all the way to 1, and then I know I'm live. Our director in the back, Nick Makosi, was watching the same view, the talent view, so that he knew when to drop Slate and come to me and cue me to start talking. So this is truly the most innovative thing to happen in live encoding, and I could not be happier with the Wowza Clearcaster up to this point. And I'm actually really enjoying. Yeah, up to this point.
Up to this point.
Well, I hate everything. I basically hate every piece of technology as soon as I've worked with it long enough.
True.
But, right now, the Wowza Clearcaster is the most innovative encoding hardware to come out, and hats off to Wowza for convincing Facebook to partner with you and for creating this amazing device.
And for helping their product.
Yeah.
For real, though. You have expanded what Facebook can do live. Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing that Facebook doesn't, as much emphasis as they put on live, they don't really give too many tools for content creators. So I'm glad to see that Wowza took the extra step to create this thing. And the best part about it is also what I'm seeing right in front of me is the talent view where I'm seeing your questions. Please send me your questions to Ready Take Live on Facebook at LiveX Production using the hashtag ReadyTakeLive, and I'd be happy to answer them. And for the first time, I'm actually seeing it in front of me here, courtesy of the Wowza Clearcaster, which wins our Best Encoder of 2017 award.
And we are the last two, guys.
Two more to go.
Last two.
That's
then you can enjoy the rest of your Friday night. You can get yourself some bourbon.
Yeah, I think we'll enjoy the rest of this bottle of bourbon.
Dram. Maybe we'll go to Act 5, Scene 6 after this.
Scene 6?
Anyways, the second to last, the what's another one though? The runner-up category. Just kidding.
Runner-up.
It's just second to last.
Runner up.
The second to last category is best streaming platform of 2017, and the winner is Rob's favorite.
Twitter. Twitter. This is going to surprise a lot of you. The best streaming platform is actually Twitter. So the best streaming platform is Twitter because there is a lot of content going on Twitter right now, a lot of really premium content going on Twitter, and they have yet to really publicly open up the rest of their streaming API, although they aren't advertising it that much. They're not trying to go for the most quantity and the most live streams. What they're actually trying to do is go for the best quality. So they partnered with organizations like the NFL, 10 live streams this year that have shattered records in terms of live sports streaming. And they also have partnered with lots of media organizations and allowed media organizations to go live with premium content and optimize those and put them in people's social feeds above everything else, pinpointing them. Most notably, we've worked with them with Twitter directly on on most of our live shows this year. Twitter is currently buying up streaming rights to premium exclusive content that you can only find on Twitter. I think the big differentiator between Twitter and Facebook Live, even though Facebook has many more viewers and much more reach at this point, is that Facebook Live is using all viewership as a model and all people as a model, whereas Twitter is really valuing premium content and acting much more like a network, like a Hulu, if you will, and partnering with the different major networks and offering premium
Hulu
content.
now, though. You heard? Disney?
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Disney. But I believe that Hulu will either disappear altogether or it will go a different way of trying to not interfere with the rest of its partners in the Hulu partnership. Otherwise, Hulu could disappear altogether. And I think we're having a little, I apologize.
Technical difficulties.
We stumbled through this one a little bit because we've been having a couple of technical difficulties.
Try that?
I need a new mic?
Does he need a new mic?
I don't understand. I need a new mic?
Am I good? I'm good. I'm gonna talk then.
Is that
Shoot.
because,
you
man.
stop talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
talk.
yeah,
so he likes
sure.
Twitter a lot. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't use Twitter a lot. And so my choice was Facebook, and he obviously chose differently, and then he also chose the Wells at Clearcaster. So I was like, okay, spreading yourself a little thin there. But I'm going to move on, and I'm going to go ahead and announce the last category, and he'll come back whenever he's ready. And I like this. I've got my own show now, guys. Also, this graphic for social platform, can we take it full? Because it might be my favorite one. It's so good. I've never even done the rainbow thing. And now I really want to do it. Now I really want to, and I deleted Snapchat. Man. Okay. Anyways, winner for best social platform, I think, above all, is our friends at Instagram, which also are friends at Facebook, so it's fine. That was my sly getting rid of Twitter. I love Instagram. That is the main social app that I use. I think it's great. It's not about people talking about their day. It's not about people talking about what they have been, how they feel politically, let me share this little tidbit I saw on a random page. I love Instagram. It's beautiful photography most of the time, if not usually hilarious. You can very much curate who you're following at times, and they now have a live feature. So we went Instagram Live before this to tell you guys. So how many of you guys actually are watching this now because we went Instagram Live? Because you get push notifications from Instagram, because you want to know when people like the photo you just posted. Guys, Instagram. The new stories feature, I know they're bringing over into Facebook stories, which is fine. I don't watch Facebook stories yet, but maybe I'll get convinced to watch Facebook stories. But the idea of like live Instagram stories is just like, it's the next step above. I'm getting the notification about it. I'm already used to getting a notification about it. And square photos, you don't always have to do square anymore. Now they let you actually do the real size of it. So yeah, Rab, do you want to join me again?
Hey, and
The magic of
we're back.
movies, guys.
Magic of television, yeah.
Magic.
Actually, you know, I was notable longest holdout on Instagram for forever.
Street Photo NYC?
So you can now, as of about like, I don't know, 6 months ago or so, go to find me on Instagram at streetphotoNYC, but streetphoto.nyc. Yeah,
Similar
which-
to He Will Not Divide dot
US, yeah. And the reason why is that I used to be a news photographer. I've been a photographer well before I got into video. Street photography has been a passion of mine for many, many years. Big fan of documentary photography as well. And I held out on Instagram for many years because I did not shoot square. Square format is for Hasselblad cameras that shoot in a 6x6 cm format, and I've always been a 35mm guy with my Leica. I have a big affinity for Leica.
He has a tattoo.
And I have a Leica tattoo on my arm. It is the red dot camera emojis. And we'll maybe in the comments post a picture of that later. But
No, I think you have to tune into the first episode of 2018, which might be in 360, and that's when you can see the tattoo.
yeah,
This one.
yeah. This one, yeah. It was my first and only tattoo. I wanted like a tattoo for a long time. My mom is probably really enjoying this right now. But anyway, so I held out on Instagram for a really long time. I'm really glad I joined though, because it's a great community, personally. But the reason why we chose it as our best social platform for 2017 is because it truly is the most impactful, influential social platform for brands and media organizations alike. Yeah. I cannot wait until Instagram releases a professional public API.
I don't think they will. I put money on it.
I think they will. I really do. Literally every social streaming platform started mobile only.
Yeah, but they're
Instagram
owned by Facebook. So
is.
Facebook's like, we'd rather you do that on Facebook, and we'll keep Instagram for other things.
I don't think they're competitors at all. I mean,
They're not competitors.
Yeah.
But in the way that's like, we already have that. Why do we need? That's what I'm saying. They're
I
not
think they would
competitors,
not
so
have
they don't need to
released.
fight for it.
I think they would have not released the live feature at all had that not been in the roadmap.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, it really just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, we're really excited. We're gonna agree to disagree up here. We're really excited about.
You put two people in director's chairs, and they're just gonna.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons why social platform best of 2017 is Instagram is looking forward to 2018 because I personally believe that in 2018 Instagram will release a professional public API. We will be going live with full graphics and full multi-camera live production on Instagram I will be so bold as to say within the first quarter of 2018 they will do.
Please prove me wrong. I don't think they will.
Okay. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we
see.
will.
We'll see.
We will.
So let's check in with the Wowza Clearcaster talent view from Facebook Live and see what other questions. Corey's saying he's impressed with the Clearcaster quality, feedback and commenting.
Go down to the bottom. Go down to the bottom.
Oh my God, like a tattoo. Nerd. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and Corey agrees that he'll like Instagram Live once they open the public API. Currently, Instagram Live, the video quality is complete garbage. So, yeah, we said in a previous
the whole
episode-
thing though for Instagram Live is not about video quality for them. Like they'll work to get it better, but it's literally about it's about the relationship. Like you're talking about Twitter and how you've got like you've got celebrities who are using it all the time to reach people, and so that's why Periscope and Twitter are so accessible and everything, and that's what Instagram is. But it's like it's so different in that you're reaching them here now on a phone, not via API, and you're a part of their life, and you feel like you're a part of their life, and I think that's the charm in it. And so while they're going to want to improve video quality, the charm aspect of it is not the same. If you want that, you go to Twitter. This to me is it feels very natural.
So it's much in the ways of the popularity of Snap or whatever.
It makes you feel a part of them.
It feels a little more personal.
Yeah.
That what you see is not professionally produced.
When Gina Rodriguez goes Instagram Live, I watch people because she's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, she watches. I don't. But
I do, and I also chat about it with other people here.
I don't know
Follow
if
her.
I'm old or not into theater.
She's
or
not theater.
Whatever, but I don't know who Gina Rodriguez is.
Oh, she's the star of Jane the Virgin.
Oh, okay.
She's the very first
Love her.
CW show to ever win a Golden Globe. She won for Best Actress.
Amazing.
She does. She's an incredible human, and so. But I wouldn't know that if it wasn't for Instagram and following her on that. And not that that's necessary because it doesn't affect her life in any way. It only affects mine. But that's fine.
Olivia says, agreed, Aubrey.
Thank you,
Gina.
Yeah, Gina. We love you, Gina.
And of course, resident living under a rock, Rob Baynard here is, doesn't know.
You had a notepad with you, didn't you?
I did have a notepad.
You had a
at some
notepad.
point. It disappeared when we went through that little technical difficulty.
Yeah.
I do want to backtrack for just 1 second on Twitter. That you can go back and see my thoughts on Twitter in our social live streaming episode. I believe it's 103, 104, something like that. Anyway, you can go back and see my monologue on social live streaming to see why I like Twitter and why I believe it is going to be the live stream winner in the future and for 2018.
In the
Yeah. So
right.
that about does it. We've had enough time abusing our error buys and drinking lots of rye and bourbon. Let's check back in with Makosi in the control room for one more time.
Makozi's like, are you done?
Oh, he's done.
Are you
He's
done?
Yeah, that's it.
Shout out to everyone in the control room right now.
Yeah, killing it.
Though. We got
Andy,
Craig. We got
Andy
Anna,
on audio.
We got Andy on audio, crushing it.
The Gurkha is out, so Andy is running audio, and
Anna's on graphics with our graphic system.
Anna is on graphics.
Crushing
Nick Walsh, our usual graphics operator, is out.
On a
he's
job.
On a job. He's not on his honeymoon. That would be odd if both Nagurka and Walsh
That
were
would
on their
be really
honeymoon
funny.
together. But yeah, no.
Craig is crushing it using this Wowza Clearcaster.
Wowza
doing a great
Clearcaster.
job.
Big shout out
Nick
to Wowza
Makosi,
Clearcaster.
Thank you for everything you're doing right now.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This wraps up.
One of our biggest shout outs.
And what really should have been our best of 2017 graphics is Clara.
Clara! This is Clara.
Yeah, so
That's not a graphic.
So Clara is our resident GFX, VFX, I don't
Everything.
even know, I mean, editor,
Post-production.
post-production. She's our
Everything.
head of post-production. She
Yeah.
literally does everything that you don't see live and everything you do. All these pretty graphics you're seeing on screen, this beautiful template here, or Ready Take Live slate is something that she created. All the hand-drawn illustrations that you see in our show each week, that's all created by Clara. Big thanks to Clara.
Yeah.
And big thanks to Corey Banke, our co-founder, who makes Ready Take Live possible. This wraps up our show, Best of 2017, Ready Take Live. If you like this show and you want to get notified when we go live, please hit the like button on our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch Ready Take Live in 4K resolution each week. And don't forget, you can send your questions and comments in the section using the hashtag ReadyTakeLive, and we'll be sure to answer them. Big thanks to Corey Banke again and LiveX Studios in Manhattan for hosting the show. And as always, I'd like to thank everyone in the back working so hard to make this show possible. For me, Rob Baynard, and for Aubrey Russell, and for Ready Take Live, I'm wishing all of you a very happy holiday season and best of luck on your next live production. Take care, guys.
Take me away.